I have a special package, and I'm doing what they do on a lot of other big channels. I'm going to cut someone with a knife. No, actually I'm going to open a package. It's an unboxing. And here it is. You can see it's from Shoe Carnival, so there's a really good guess what's in there, but I'm really excited about what is in here. Okay, so there's 2 boxes. Got a great deal. Use several online codes. So this is just a pair of Timberlands. I'll wear these to work. No big deal. This is what I'm excited about. A pair of Chuck Taylors. Now, my wife is already rolling her eyes at me for being so excited about these, because she's like, why do you want these so badly? And I think the reason that I want them so badly is it just takes me back. I had my first and only pair of Chucks when I was either in the 7th or 8th grade. I forget which year. But it was my go back to school shoes. And I worked all summer to pay for those, because this would have been 1980, 1981, somewhere in that range. And these would have cost $19.95 before taxes back then. Now the average price of these in your stores today is about $55. So I don't know if that's a decent price with inflation or not. But this was my first pair of name brand shoes ever, as I got into middle school and became brand conscious and wanted to wear the cool shoes like everybody else. And the reason I only ever had one pair was, well, these are pretty plain. And then the shoes with all the nice stripes and chevrons and swooshes became much more cool looking, or cooler looking, I guess is the correct superlative term. And I wanted to start wearing those. But once these came back and everybody started wearing them, I just really got this hankering that I wanted a pair. So here we go. I'm excited about it. It takes me back to the old days. And I really hope they're comfortable though with my orthotics. We'll see. I'm hanging out here with Crate. He's hiding back in the opposite corner there. He's enjoying the heat, and when he gets in that corner, it normally means he doesn't want to be messed with. He's a little upset with me right now. Yesterday I was carrying him from one place to another, and for some reason he decided he would jump out of my arms. And when he did, he landed about 5 feet, jumped from a height of about 5 feet onto a hard tile floor, and there was a pretty loud smack when he landed. And as soon as he did, he was very, very unhappy. So I don't know if it knocked the breath out of him or what, but it was clear he did not want me messing with him anymore, which of course I had to do because I had to get him back to his tank. But anyway, the reason I'm hanging out here with Crate is he and I are talking about the good old days and remembering back when things were so different in school and things were really better. I mean, kids behaved better. There were consequences for them. They knew what it meant to sit down and take notes and to do the things that they should do. And back when I was growing up, we were taught the basics, and not any of this newfangled stuff. Well, my grandmother, who has gone on to her eternal reward, used to say that she didn't want to go back to the good old days because they weren't so good. She enjoyed her microwave. She enjoyed her car, being able to drive around. She enjoyed the television and the cordless phone and all of these other modern conveniences, making things nicer. The good old days weren't so good. We began to romance
how things used to be, and we begin to remember them more fondly than they really were. And we have to be careful when we say, if only we could go back to X, Y, and Z, everything would have been better. I would argue that the things that were better back in the day are the same things that we're doing today that are effective. We have to be careful with that desire to try to make our classrooms look like they did in 1960. Because I would argue that there were some things that didn't go great back in 1960. So in this discussion about the good old days, what it is I think that we lament is the changes in society, not the changes that we're having here in class. Not the changes that we're seeing in school in terms of curriculum and how it's delivered. What do you think, Craig? We think that because things are taught differently today than they were even 20 years ago, that there's something wrong with that it seems harder, that we're leaving something out, that we're making things more complicated than it needs to be. And that's not the case. And there certainly has been a lot of discussion about Common Core and its implementation and some of the crazy things that parents are showing is coming home with their elementary school teachers. And in almost every one of those cases, the problem is not that there's something wrong with quote-unquote Common Core. What happens is that teachers aren't given the time to actually get better acquainted with some of these methods, and they may not understand some of the background knowledge. They may not be all that well versed in some of the eccentricities that come with math concepts, and then we give them this new thing to teach, and the only thing that they've been able to master in the short period of time that they've had is the technique without really understanding how it works, and then they're forced to pass that along to a group of students, sometimes very young students. And that's unfortunate. And one of these days I'm going to do a video about the whole sense of urgency that we feel here in public schools and what that does to us and how that influences the decisions that we make. When you're longing for the good old days, just take a moment to stop and think about what exactly it is that you're longing for. It might actually still be there. It just might look a little bit different because there are some other things getting in the way that's really causing the complaints and not the thing that you think you're complaining about. Thank you for tuning in. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe down below. And as always, give somebody a reason to hope and learn something new every day.